Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. This is a Q&A video series, so if you would like to submit a question, go to formspring.me/AaronRift. I'll try to get to your question. I have hundreds that I still haven't gotten to, but trying to do it. Trying to do videos on a daily basis. I also do text NoDQ&A. Check that out at NoDQ.com. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. The first one today comes from Southside King 3. Aaron, do you think we could see a Rock versus Steve Austin in WWE again? Please answer in video. I don't think so. You have to keep in mind if Steve Austin is going to come back and have one more match in WWE, I don't think he is going to do a match that he's already done. He's going to want to come back and do something totally different because as far as he's concerned, he has already accomplished everything there is to accomplish. So why come back and just relive the past again? You have to look at it that way. If he was to come back, he would want to face somebody like CM Punk or Randy Orton, somebody that he's never been in the ring with before. So he would have a good reason to come back and, put his body on the line again when it's not really necessary. So, the idea of Rock versus Steve Austin again, it would be really cool for nostalgia, but realistically, I think that it's highly unlikely we'll ever see that match again. This next one comes from the Cool Guys 69. Hey Aaron, with Bo Dallas now feuding with Wade Barrett, do you see Bo Dallas winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania? That is a possibility. That would be a good way to jumpstart Bo Dallas and give him a big push. But on the other hand, it would do some harm to Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett's already coming off a loss to Randy Orton. And the thing is, you can have Bo Dallas go for the Intercontinental title and then lose and still get him over. He's a newcomer. You can put him in a match with Wade Barrett and let it be a back-and-forth match and have Bo Dallas come really close to beating Wade Barrett, but he just doesn't get the job done. That way, it establishes Bo Dallas as a force to be reckoned with, and he's a young guy. He's still working his way up, and in due time, he could be a major superstar. So there is a way you can do it to where he loses and still comes off looking strong. And I think Wade Barrett losing to Bo Dallas could hurt him a little bit because WWE is still trying to push Wade Barrett and make him a top-level superstar. So I wouldn't necessarily have him beat Wade Barrett at least right away. Alright, this one comes from Little Dizzle 4000. Hey Aaron, are you surprised that WWE allowed The Rock to be champion and allowing him to miss this past Raw and all house shows? Usually a WWE champion set an example of a workhorse for the company. I think it could hurt the morale of the superstars. Well, this was definitely a concern going in. This was something that people talked about. Is it really a good idea to have The Rock win the title when he's not going to be around constantly? He's not going to be at the house shows, and he might miss several Raws. Now, as it turned out, The Rock, he did miss the show in Atlanta this past Monday night, but for the most part, he's going to be around at Raw every week until WrestleMania. He got a lot of those dates available. There was some concern that he would have a limited availability. He wouldn't be around all that much, but as it turns out, he's going to be around for Raw almost every week. So that's a good thing. At least he's on television every week as WWE Champion. And yeah, it might hurt morale a bit. I mean, there are some guys that resent The Rock coming back and hogging the spotlight, but, The Rock has said it best. He's coming back, and if The Rock is successful, everybody is successful. Everybody's making money. And, since The Rock came back, ratings have been up, and WrestleMania is going to do huge. And, The Rock was just in the Super Bowl commercials. So the WWE Champion was seen, by millions and millions of people. And, The Rock brings that mainstream publicity as WWE Champion that nobody else can get. Not CM Punk, not even John Cena. So The Rock has that ability to draw in a lot of people to WrestleMania, and that's what it's all about. That's where the bottom line is, WrestleMania, and with The Rock's name there, if WrestleMania is going to do huge business, and like I said, Rock makes money, everybody makes money. Hey Aaron, if you had a good money budget to turn around TNA to be considered competition to WWE, how would you turn around the company? This is a complicated question because there's a lot of things that I feel need to be done to turn TNA around. If I had a lot of money and I could just throw it around, first thing I would do, I would fire anybody who's not making a huge difference in terms of business. My opinion is that I would be able to maintain a 1.0 rating regardless of who I have on the show. I think people watch TNA. TNA has a core fan base that is going to watch a show no matter what. So get rid of the guys that you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to that aren't really making a difference. You know, I hate to say it, get rid of Hogan, get rid of Bischoff, get rid of Sting, probably get rid of Jeff Hardy. You know, Jeff Hardy is a little bit of a difference maker. He does have that name value, so you know, I'd have to assess Jeff Hardy's personal life. How's he doing? How's his health? How's he taking care of himself? If he's doing well, maybe I would keep Jeff Hardy around. But I would really focus on creating new talent, and part of that, you know, part of that process is marketing these guys. You know, I would bring in people that can market these characters, and you know, that can do research on these characters and experiment. You know, you want to bring in new people with creative ideas and people that have a vision of what they want to do with TNA. You just need to bring in some new people and experiment. I mean, it is a whole process in terms of experimentation and trying different things, and if something works, you go with it. If something doesn't work, you drop it and you try something else. You know, with aces and eights, I don't feel that it's been working, and TNA just keeps dragging it on and on and on and on. And I wouldn't repeat the same things. You know, how many times has TNA done the heel NWO type faction? You know, you've had Main Event Mafia, Immortal, and now Aces and Eights. It's been done to death. I would do some different things and try different storylines, and you know, just experiment with new match types, and you really got to just do different things, and eventually something will click. So I mean, there's a lot of things I would do. It's not an easy fix, and one thing I would do is what TNA is doing right now, going on the road full time. I mean, that's something you really have to do. I've talked about it before. You know, getting reactions from different crowds across the country. I think that that's good for TNA, and hopefully they get something out of it, and they are able to have a better idea of who's over and who's not over. So that's one thing that TNA is doing. I think that is a positive. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&AV video. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. Spread the word. I appreciate all the feedback and all the continued support. And stay tuned for more NoDQ&AV video.